Hello, good evening, and welcome to the stream. And welcome. Do we have transcoding? We've got audio, that's for sure. 1080p transcoding. Yay! Well, how about that? Everything, it's working. My God. Check my output settings. They're wrong. But you know what? Sod it. It's working. It's working. Let's go to the live screen. There we go. Okay. So, we put in a couple of implants and switched to the dreadlock Shen sticks. Well, we didn't switch to them. We put two of them in. Two of them. Yes, indeed. Looking at abilities and such now. Sensing must be 1807. Oh, we're almost there. No dice, you've got a drain still to cast that. Oh well, not to worry. Right, let's do some social mediaing before I forget this time, like I did last time. That was funny. Halfway through the stream. Did I tweet this? You know, it was one of those. Did I? I don't know. Maybe I didn't. Yes, there we go. There's one. Okay. And well, come back here. Chasing after social media pages. And we'll do the book face as well. Okay, I think that's everything. Right, we're nowhere near on this level. So what was this? Leonie, good to see my extolment of Sheol isn't on stream. Well, yes. Shano lost some brain cells today. Sheol, Yutto, and Scientist Quest time 4. Oh, times 4? Times 4? What is this insanity times 4? That would be lag. Times 4 though, that's nuts. I'm putting the rest of my brain cells with pens and quest now. God. You leveling up a little mini army there or something? It sounds like. Doing 4-2, you're dragging them all round together. Mind you, there's certain bits I wouldn't want to try and do all together, like the Brink Nightmares. No, I'd want to walk one toon at a time through that. Loving kill quest with only counted mobs. Can they not all team up and do it, or? Are they like a mini box or something? We've got diseased prisoner. Let's go do diseased prisoner. Can they not team up? I would have thought you could team up for that. You missed my ding on Keeper. I did? Oh, I'm sorry. When did you ding? Was it today or was it earlier on or whatever? Anyway, congratulations on the ding age. Yesterday morning. Well, not much chance of streaming at that point. Now, I was thinking of doing betas this evening, but I may just. Don't know. I think I still need to do a bit more research. Truth be told. Soldier Russell, welcome to the stream immediately with the funny meme. You gotta see the whole thing. Wait. Every pilot.
Ladies and gentlemen, I've now descended to Minneapolis. Well, it's mostly cloudy, temperatures in the 60s, and a southwest wind between 10 and 20 miles per hour. Please descend to your seat.
Yeah, pretty much. Pretty much, yeah. And that's the same microphone they talk down. I think it's from the headset, so it's going to be the same microphone ground controller listening to. Pretty much thank God for radar. I think we might be a little low on maybe treatment. I'm not sure. I'm lurking doing Org Panned. Very good. Excuse me. Yeah, all day today I've been going. I'm gonna go get my hair. I'm gonna go get a haircut. I'm just gonna do this, then I'll go and get a haircut. And here we are. It's the end of the day. Still haven't had the haircut. And I'm just gonna get the clippers out tonight. I think it takes about 30 minutes on your own with the clippers in the mirror. If you're going long to quite short, it's easy. You can feel if you've done it or not, you know. All right. You like your nephew cut your hair as it's what he's decided, educated to be. Well, yeah, absolutely. If someone's had some training, they're going to do better than someone who hasn't. I forgot to get a drink of it. We're doing some okay damage here. Some of the crits seem a lot higher than the others. 5, 2, 1, 4, and then 3.6. These Shen sticks have got the same. They're 300, 490, 500. 300, 490, 500, yeah. Interesting. I'm just looking at the damage readout on the left of the screen there for me. You think you'd be hitting the same crit each time, wouldn't you? But no. It's good, the drains are all landing now, at least. Yeah, if you know someone that's actually done hairdressing of any kind, barber work, they're going to have more clue than Joe Schmo, aren't they? Let's face it. Instead of why would you not have bioshielding and cybernetic? Confused me now. I'm sure I've got both on mine. We'll log in after this and have a quick look what the perks I've got. Not to say they're right, but I know Savik's are quite different from mine because her keeper's very much a crit build, so you're keeping the weapon out of OE. Shouldn't be anywhere near it. Not 220. Yeah, some of the hit crits are 5, 2, 3, 4, and some of the crits are 3, 6, 9, 1. I'm not sure why. And it'd be like one after the other as well. Some of your symbionts are a little low. I'm sure I put that weapon on as soon as I got it. And it was fine, but... Well, 220 apparently, so... It was the Stygian Obliterator. You know, it was the one from the high-level Temple of the Three Winds, wasn't it? That was quite easy to get on at 210. I don't even think I needed a wrangle on mine. Oh, mind you, it could be armour as well, I guess. Let's have a quick look. Bear in mind, my keeper has got, you know, like just about every nice toy you can think of. They're wearing it, you know, so... Let's have a quick look before we go and do the excitement that is Dio. Not Dio. The excitement that is Rat. Desecrated, but I'm Oppie. It shouldn't really be that hard. I wouldn't have thought it'd make that big of a difference, though. Maybe. Let's have a look. There she is. $2,771, but they have got a lot of toys. Right, okay. What perks am I using? So I've got Blessing, Crusade, Cybernetic Samurai, Bioshielding and Reaver, Champion of Heavy Infantry, Champion of Nano Combat. Oh, and Crusade as well. Yeah, that's it. I'm guessing the difference then is, you know, some of the gear. No too much two-hand edged on my keeper. I'm 28 IP over MBS. I think I probably am a bit over as well. MBS 2758, and we've got, oh no, 2617. I think a buff just ran out. No, Giant of Swords is running. General, I had 27 a second ago. Yeah. 2150 to equip. You should be doing that easily, unless your symbionts are quite low or something. Well, Sky Cannon was just talking about her keeper at 220 needing to perk a certain way to keep the Desecrator out of OE, and I was thinking, I'm sure it wasn't that hard to get on. I was thinking of doing some betas on the little trader, but I just wanted to check my perks and stats on the keeper for Sky Cannon, just to see what what was going on there. My sims are low, but I'm getting a full beta set. Yeah, I think that's going to make the difference. Quite a big difference. Right, so the exciting daily, that is rats. I'm going to go do rats because it's rats. And why did I come up here? I don't need to be up here. Yeah, I think I'm a little, still just slightly too far behind on research, I think, from memory. Strength for 20, intelligence 25 at the end there, that's going to make a difference. Fast talk, more stamina. Stamina again. Door-to-door salesman. Agility, biomet. Agility for days, rare and off effects. Agility again, biomet. Add all death. Add all death. Strength for 30. Stamina 25. Yeah. There's like 56, well, closer to 60 to 100 points in ability buffs we're missing. before we go diving in. I mean, some of my implants on this tune are pretty shocking. I think I put them on at like 150, 170-ish maybe. Growing chest artillery. A 120. Yeah, some of them are very low. That helmet is a crime against humanity and fashion. You should be deported to Rubicar from wearing it. Oh, this one. Oh, yeah. I can't remember why. I think it was oh, that's right. We were putting on gear and wearing the enhanced DB covering for its +1 crit. But it makes it look like you're wearing a dress. I'm not sure that really helps as much as 1% does help. I think I'll be better off with Merc pants on. I genuinely do. Because at least then I don't have to disable everything except social. But as soon as I turn it off, I've got very crappy looking too. You feel the core of your being shift as the source makes room for a divine presence. Netral has reached enlightenment. Congratulations. You're better off with Merc pants, you need DMA. Okay. We can do that. Well, that involves fannying them out. With AI perks and such. It was when we were closing up at the end of the last stream. And we got the surprise aliens and then carried on afterwards. At the end of aliens, putting the implants in and then putting both Shen sticks on. Where did that one come from? Okay, let's have a look. Rookie exterminate. How many did I kill so far? 85, okay. There's Merc in every slot except chest and left arm. Awakened Beast, then you can put Operative in the other sleeve, but frankly I'm not convinced it's worth it for +2 crit. I was thinking this, I'd rather have the extra AR. I was thinking that, I will be honest. I killed 100 roller rats, goodbye! Yeah, currently I've got the Operative chest piece and both of the sleeves. So you've got 4 crit just from those. Right, need to talk to the warden. So you think getting the AR as high as possible, because you've got MA plus, yeah, you get martial arts 30 plus the critical 5 plus 35 to all damage on Operative chest, so it definitely makes sense with that one. Mr. Warden, another dead prisoner. Take the green. Goodbye. I mean, yeah, that's kind of... I mean, I can see it with the sleeves, but then you're leaving 60 on the table in a MA skill, aren't you? So you're getting a lesser and lesser weapon type of thing, maybe? Well, no, because the damage is fixed with these, isn't it? As opposed to MA skill, once you're onto using a weapon that's MA based, it's based on the weapon. Yeah, it is. It's its own weapon when your hands are bare, but it becomes a weapon when they're not, isn't it? As soon as you're using actual weapons, isn't it just based on the weapon? There's no MA on the sleeve. No, there's not. Okay, so that was aggressive pricing 8, which gave us another 20 in strength. Merc in every slot except chest. I thought it was going to be that. Okay. I can go with that. What level is this character now? 219. I would like to reset all my perks. Frozen shoulder, yeah. I've got the basic one, but not the what's it one. Right, okay, so we're gonna want alien technology, because it's a pain. Hans DNA all the way. Okay, that should do it. Might need to do some more as well. Make a leg wet. Oh, well, because we lose a bit of stamina when we take them off. Yeah, okay. Alright, there we go. So that's everything is Merc. Except for the chest. Correct? Before I reset everything again. Correct. Okay. Siljo Russell with another meme. Platypus babies are called puggles. Yes, you needed to see this today. They might look cute, but don't get older one. They've got... The males have exceptionally painful venom. I would like another perk reset. Right, okie doke. We had volunteer because it's so useful. I think it was it accumulator? Can't remember just now. Nano doctorate we want. I think with this armor on. No, still. Still OE, oh my god. Until we drain, obviously. Then... light infantry. I know we had a few of those. TNH is down. Congratulations. Did I have Distill Life as well? I don't know until I drain. You got plus 17, I think, from one of them. I think we had accumulator as well, you know. Now the Shen sticks are not OE. And then I had some in Nano Combat as well. Mihalik doesn't like me using Nano Combat, but it makes the drains and such land a lot easier. What were the others in then? Because I got 12 left. think it was enhanced DNA, you know. I got a feeling it was. Kung Fu, yeah. Yeah, I think that was it. I think that's what we had more or less. Only now we're not OE and our MA skill. Psychic, isn't it? It's painful. Right, okay. Doja. Let's get a Doja done. Opportunist. Did they actually add damage? I can't remember now. I think we only used it because we needed the Dimash. Doesn't say it adds damage, except for controlled chance, which has a dot. So it doesn't add damage at all according to its description. It's a proc, yeah. It's probably boosted some nano skills as well. Or does it, Merc Armor? It doesn't, does it? Merc Armor got nano on it? Or am I thinking of... No, that's Sharpshooters does that, isn't it? Nano. Evades, ranged, and nano skills? Can't remember now. Or am I confusing it with Scout? I'm probably confusing it with Scout. Lag. Scout has got the nano skill on it, hasn't it? Yeah. I think I've got the Scout on my MP and my NT. But not both NTs. Base skill, specials, ranged, yeah. Sharpshooter's got evades on it as well though, doesn't it? Disease couldn't hit me, but these green Somfist can. That makes so much sense. Add all off, but no add def. Seem to be getting two different crit values. I seem to be getting one in at 5k and one at 3k, and I'm using the same weapon in both hands. And I got here just as everything's spawning, apparently. It would seem. Time to slice and dice ugly. Oh, you're at the beast already. Yay! Yeah, 5748 crit, and then the next time it crits, it'll be right down at like 3.6 or 3.7ish. Seppuku slash. I need to get some water, I think. Yay, Doja. Now, what was this? Oh, yeah, it was in the trader shop, I think. Yeah, it is, yeah. I mean, I've used it on mine. We've got Cybernetic Samurai and two-hand edge, just for the extra damage. Higher crits are from your legs. No. The animation has leg movement. I don't think your legs do anything. Otherwise, I'd be wielding 3 weapons. MA Fist and 2 Shen Sticks, and I don't think it does that. That's wishful thinking. I think it's just RNG on the crit sometimes, you know. Fake Doja. You got it so early, so delete that one and try for another 8 hours. You attack 3 times as an MA. Well, if you're an MA, you might. We were not, I don't think. There's only 2 little bars moving for left and right hand. I found a Doja chip. There you go. Right, I'm getting some water. MA skill for combined attack. Doesn't mention it anywhere on there. And this is not an MA either. Player 3 has joined. Cute kittens. Martial arts weapons are not usually something the Dreadlock weapons development team is known for. These nunchucks, however, made on commission for the son of a very wealthy shareholder. He later allowed the model to be mass-produced on a wider scale since he tired of his fixation with learning the martial arts. He also had a special hatred of doctors and asked that the model was fitted with a special nanite injection system that can sometimes reduce the effectiveness of the target's healing abilities. Between dual wield and MBS. What did I miss? Thank you, Lord Hasta TV. I'm not sure if they're on here tonight. They were the other night. Oh, yes, they are here this evening. Did I miss an alert? I did miss alerts when I went for a pee. Lord Hasta TV gifted a tier 1 sub to Healerson. Thank you very much. And Lord Hasta TV gifted a tier 1 sub to Dragonor. Thank you very much. For the gifted subs, 397. It's kind of bonkers. So you're saying there's a third attack? I've never noticed it if there is. Seriously, I've never noticed that. He's your sugar daddy. Well, he's our mysterious benefactor. Yes, he is. Yeah, I'm not sure about this extra attack. There is one for Shades, I know. I'm not sure about everybody else. It's going to do a mission. Siljar Russell with another meme. Play that again. Well, hi. Yeah, it did sound like that. Not far off. Reminds me of a movie I saw as a kid about two dolphins that learned to speak. They realised how clever they were, or something like that. And then they're going to train them to plant bombs or something like that. So the keepers and the scientists free them. And it's sort of, it's all very sad at the end. She says, far, love, pa. And off they swim into the ocean. Pretty confident that I won't be going to the pass hideout. No, we won't. Patron, benefactor, just fancy words for sugar daddy. Sugar daddy is pimp for PC for pimp. What? I don't think so. Oh, God, it keeps sending me this one. Gamel 11111. Welcome to the stream. Good to see you. How the devil are you on the main PC and not on the laptop? There you go. That's more like it. I was watching Tom and Jerry yesterday. My daughter came in and told me the episode I was watching was from 1943. It is how well it was animated in 1943. The early ones are really, really well animated, and then the later ones just feel a bit like they didn't have the budget somehow. Because when they started off, they would the animation is absolutely brilliant. I know it's not all PC because they depict a middle-aged African-American woman as the maid, you know. But, you know, that aside, and you just look at the Tom and Jerry and occasionally the dog. Oh, and Pepe Le Pew appears in it once or twice, I think. The skunk that thinks he's a cat or something weird. Just came back from a very nice pub for dinner. Belly of pork, yum, and 3 pints of Abbott's. Oh, yum, yum, yum. Xeon Shrimp, welcome to the stream. Hey, Callus and chat. You want to make more shaped bodies? Just had double shoulders and double pride. Nice. Got some news regarding my carpal tunnel surgery. It's been pushed back for 6 to 8 months. Oh, God. Oh, more shaped bodies in cartoons, yeah. Well, the thing is, they said Speedy Gonzales was, like, offensive and whatnot, and the nation of Mexico said, no, it isn't. Because he's a hero. And he's like most of lots of Mexican heroes in their folklore and in real life history, are outlaws and sort of scallywags, you know? It's kind of culturally, that's a cool thing for them. And the fact that he's kind of unbeatable and whatnot, kids love him. He's seen as a positive role model in Mexico. So they were like, stop being offended on our behalf. We like him. Keep making the cartoons. No, not making them. Then they're offensive. But we're not offended. If you're saying they're offensive to us and we're saying, no, they aren't. They say it's offensive and we're saying, no, it isn't. We're the Mexican nation. Maybe we'd know. It just beggars belief. Really does. Yeah, he finds a cat and the cat's got the white line down its back from a random source of paint or lying on a bench or leaning on some painted object. They can't get away from Pepe. Three attack bars. I do. So that you reckon that one there's the legs. I'm trying to watch. Okay. It's not doing the extra crit though. In Sweden as well. Or is it just like this whole backlog they're talking about? Post-COVID backlog? That's a sugar daddy. Yeah, there are 3 attack bars, you're right. On MA, it's a bigger value. Maybe that's what it is then. It was confusing me. I was like, well, why am I getting this big crit suddenly when both weapons are identical? $5,148 crit versus the 3,7 I normally get. That was way worse than that in the UK, but we've had like 12, 13 years of Tory government, and they're not like the old Tories, they're appointed corporate representatives who give massive tax cuts to their friends. And meanwhile run everything into the ground and blame a lack of private investment when it's a publicly owned sector that they're not funding properly, and say, oh, but private entrepreneurs will come in and fix it, and then charge you 3 times as much for the same service. Disgusting. Have this much skill to use M8 to right, yeah. It's not in the in-game description. It could be on AOU, maybe. Yeah, I mean, there's like, you know, people with... I'm not saying it isn't bad, but there are worse things you could have, and people are waiting on those, isn't it? I mean, if they said this guy needs chemo or something like that, I'd be like, yeah, I'll wait. Do you know what I mean? So we think it's the third hit. Red look, Shen sticks. New items. It's some hidden stat then. Because it's not... I'm looking at the page now and it's... Yeah. Multi-mallet martial art... Multi-wheeled... Multi-mallet martial arts 900. But it doesn't say it's an attack, it just says multi-melee and then martial arts on... That's on AO items there. Martial arts 900, but in-game... It says martial... MA for combined attack. It says it there, but is that what that means then? That's a weird-ass system. It counted me with all these drains running. Yeah, I saw it just under multi-melee. It is, but what it actually means and what it says is unclear, isn't it? Oh, runaway grey mobs, and I fucking hate them. You get the third bar if you have 900 MA skill. Well, you'd think you would if to equip it is so much more, like 2,000. Anema of Abomination. Anema of the Abomination is the new kin of Taraskew. Every MA weapon comes up with something like that. Really? I'd not noticed it before, but then again, yeah. If you were ranged, you could just shoot them. Yes, I know. It's the downside of doing old imp mediums. The chest mobs are very low. This you need 844 MA skill to use MA attacks with that weapon on. But I can't use, you know, like Bird of Prey and all those sorts of things, can I? They're locked to Prof must be MA. Well-shaped tool of torture. Martial arts 950. Yeah, it says it there. But I think this one is locked to... Or is it this the one from Tara? Morgan Le Fay or whatever she's called. Yeah, not all of them have it, do they? So my MA attacks are not prof locked, just MA skill and melee weapon locked. Yeah. Might nip to the shop in Borealis and have a look. I think all, you know, those ones, like Upon a Wave of Summer, Bird of Prey, for example. I'm sure they're all locked to MA profession, aren't they? Well, most of them are. Channel. Okay, I'm going to lose some brain cells doing Penzan on 4 characters, all get different temperature. Of course. You can't share that one, can you? Exactly. Notepad time, indeed. Wizard of Hasim is prof locked or not? Wizard. No, it doesn't even know what that is. Oh, food snacks. Would help if the characters weren't all named the same. Oh god. So when he asks, you're like, which one's for this one? Well, we'll do this mission and then go take a quick look in the MA attack shop in Borealis, eh? The team MA ability from, I think, the wreck. Yeah. Yeah, you kill that boss in the middle of like the mutant village or something. But that's a weapon though, isn't it? I'm not going to swap that for the dreadlocks. Lionel, what? Yeah. So blue, yeah, so it's a heal, yeah. Got a feeling I trolled myself rather than anybody else, yeah. Sort of. Kinda did. Unfortunate. What did I press? The wrong thing. I clicked that instead of that. Purple heart. Cast sacrifice. Yep. Dope. That was a stupid. Oh well, we're going to go to the Borealis shop a little bit earlier now. And remember, never use that unless it's like taking a dive for the entire team. Sacrifice it. Yeah, I didn't mean to click it. I meant to click the proc next to it. Yay for clicking. Yeah, as you'll see, that purple heart is nowhere near my hotbars. And then I go and click it randomly in the menu. Good God. Doofus. God, have a good stream. Got to pick up my PC and monitors taken to the new house. Nice. Cool times is moving times. Alright, we just get a few buffs and we'll be fine. So the Emporium of Guns and Ammo is actually a shop with MA attacks in it. So Angel of Night. Martial arts from 1951. Must be in combat. Must have equipped weapon type. Unarmed. Weapon type unarmed. So Attack of the Snake. Must have weapon type unarmed. So I can't use it whilst I've got these equipped though. Is that what that means? What's this? Siljar Russell. Another childhood star lost to drugs. Yeah, I've seen a few like that. Park bin that looks remotely like poor old R2-D2. We go Bird of Prey. Stun. Unarmed using physical innit. It'd probably use the third attack as fists if you're dual wield. I'm not sure. Yeah, it's weird, isn't it? MA skill is just weird. Let me climb this now. Flower of Life. Shen. Not much. Wave of Summer. I think Bird of Prey's the one, isn't it? 30 seconds. Attack of the Snake. Only does 450 damage though. No, riposte from 2102. I don't think we got that. Nope. Nowhere near that. Bird of Prey seems about the only one. It only does 1,000 though. Stun, yeah. Plus your damage. Well, Bird of Prey then, because that's plus 1,000. Blessed with Thunder. Does 6 hits. 11. Bird of Prey. We'll go try out Bird of Prey once I get rebuffed. And it begins with the bump logging. My self buffs first would make sense. My MA has 7 inventory slots blocked with special attacks. Yeah, on an MA. I'm missing Temple of the Three Wind raid ones, yeah. What do I want to give myself? Well, a hot for a start. Hots are nice. Let's do big hot. Yeah, they're quite hard to... Well, they take a lot of raids to get because it's book drops that are annoying. I want that, and then an init buff, and I don't know, maybe Behemoth, things like that. I don't think I'll be quick enough on that bump to get 2 times. We can try, but I doubt it. Probably already fallen off the server. Yep, they did. Yeah, it's quite a bit more work to get those. British genocide in Kenya, Ireland, India, Tasmania, Australia. We the baddies. Oh, colonial Britain was awful. And that's what you get. You get a nation that's been conquered and invaded by dozens of other civilizations, and you end up with, you know, a kind of distilled conqueror race, which is kind of what we ended up with. So yeah, our ancestors, yeah. Are we the baddies? Very much, yeah, we definitely were. They're the guys that came up with the imperial weights and measurement system. And people call them freedom units, which I find hilarious. Yeah, old former generations of British done some bad stuff. No two ways about it. But you see, war is only possible if the soldiers believe that they're the good guys. And the problem we've got is both sides have to believe it. So, something someone posted in reaction to. People with extreme hate of Britain could be de-radicalised under prevent scheme. Yeah, but you're talking hundreds of years ago. So hating a country for, hating a body of people for something a bunch of people who've been dead for 200 years ago did is radical. Do you see what I mean? If those people were still here, yeah, I could see it. But they've been dead a very long time. I think I'll do Soldier. 70 years still okay. 70 years? What was 70 years ago? End of World War II. Well, I don't blame modern Germans for World War II. I blame the loonies that took hold for World War II. Trying to include anyone who vilifies Britain into law. Oh, well, this current government are a bunch of shithouses. They're awful. Absolutely. They've been in power too long, and the only thing they're doing now is everything they can to stay in power. Yeah, pretty much everyone in Scotland would be made, would be criminalised by such a law. And it's not the British, it's the English people are talking about. The Welsh had little to do with it, and neither did the Scottish. Remember, they are distinct countries. We're just all on the same lump of land, apart from Ireland. So, yeah, the whole thing's just ridiculous, really. We are a ridiculous country. Not going to deny it. Right. Back to it. These are two Tory MPs. You see, Boris has been forced to resign, and these are the real dregs of that party that are trying to get the top job now. Then they were elected in their in their constituency. They weren't elected in a general election. As bad as the Tories are now, there is no one better. There's no one worse, mate. They're bought and paid for. They're not Margaret Thatcher. I mean, Liz Truss wouldn't get a bloody job carrying Margaret Thatcher's handbag, mate. She's crap. She really is just so out of her depth. She's trying to emulate Margaret Thatcher. I remember Margaret Thatcher. She's nothing like her. Margaret Thatcher had a mind like a steel trap. Interviewers were terrified of her. They're laughing in Truss's face most of the time. These aren't the old Tories. These are corporate manipulated puppets. That's all they are now. Not a single one of them represents the old guard. Not a single one. Tom Riddleson, subscribe with Prime. Welcome to the stream. Good to see you. And lag. Thank you for the resub. 4 months, thank you. Well, he's smarter than any of the Tory candidates they put forward. I didn't mind that Penny. She seemed all right. She seemed like kind of reasonable. But I think she'd have been like a John Major. Keir Starmer was a mistake, I think, for the Labour Party. He's a Blairite. You know what I mean? He's like he's going to drag us into a war somewhere. Anonymous Gifter gave Evie a tier 1 sub. Thank you very much, Anonymous Gifter, for the gifted sub to Evie. And Evie, welcome to the stream if you're on. I did not see you. Or maybe you're not on. You are on. You're lurking. Lurking is okay. We approve of the lurk. No, he knew there was enough to prosecute, there wasn't enough to convict. And you see, you got to remember what you're reading in the press and popular media is what all the people that wanted to keep their tax-free havens a secret want printed, that want you to believe. So they'll spin it their way. They're like pikers. They're not working for some shady elites or whatever. They're working for rich bastards who don't want to cough up taxes. You see, in 2014, they announced that by 2020, non-doms and all the rest of it would have to declare... Let's try this MA attack. Oh, I need more Dimash. Would have to declare their offshore account. And suddenly that happened. Suddenly Brexit happened. Because they're the people controlling the Tories. There's a good picture of a Tory party conference, and the biggest and busiest stand there is one for the Cayman Islands, or the investment opportunities in the Cayman Islands. They're all filthy, mate. Every last one of them. Make me sick. And trying to compare themselves to the old guard is just... No, you're not. Yeah, they didn't have sufficient to get a conviction. And Boris Johnson, when he repeated that lie that what's his face from Labour, Keir Starmer, had let him slip through his fingers, it's a lie. But if you tell a lie often enough, people start believing it. You've started believing it, but it's not true. He wasn't on that case. And when Boris said it, he then had to apologise for it. Every newspaper that printed the article saying that that's what happened to make him look bad had to later apologise. Of course, the news story is on the front page for 3 weeks. The apology is in a little tiny box at the back of the paper with a sign in front of it saying, "Beware of the leopard." I think you should change the law, and when newspapers have to apologise for telling lies, deliberate disinformation, it's not misinformation, it's not they've misunderstood or been given bad information, they damn well know they're lying, so disinformation, that they have to run that apology on the front page for the same amount of time they ran the lie. Yeah, but that's our legal system. It was all done after his death. They weren't going to put him on trial and catch him out that way. It was post-mortem prosecution. It's much harder to do because there's no one to prosecute. You've got to have 100% evidence because there's no one to prosecute. It's different. That's our law. That's our legal system. Trying to lay the blame for that at the feet of one barrister is like ridiculous. Yeah, Boris was at a party, but it wasn't really a party. No, first of all, he lied and said there were no parties. Then he conceded that he'd lied about that and said, well, any gatherings were within the guidelines, but he wasn't there. Then he admitted that that one was a lie by saying, okay, he was there, but it was all within the guidelines. Then he lied that it was a one-off. In fact, there were over 100 and something instances. It was just one lie after the next, trying to save his skin. It was, you know, like, he sort of treats lying as no one's got any, no one remembers what I said last time. And it's like, yeah, we do. You haven't got a good enough memory to be a good liar. You've got to have a brilliant memory to be a good liar. You're much better off just telling the truth, because then you don't need to remember what you lied about. Yeah, they had to find absolute concrete evidence to convict someone who's already dead. That's the problem. Had that not been the case, yeah, if he'd still been alive, he'd have gone to court. But he wasn't, so they couldn't. It's as simple as that. But of course, like the Daily Mail, that's is it the Rath brothers, or the Rathbone brothers or something? With their Cayman Island accounts, non-dom status, etc. Yeah, those guys don't want you to do that. They just want you to never for 1 second to even entertain the possibility that their Cayman Island accounts and all the rest of it would be put in jeopardy. They're quite happy with the status quo. They like earning millions in this country and paying no tax on it. They're quite happy with that. They're not accountable. They're not in Parliament. No one's voting for them. But in order to carry on enjoying that lifestyle, they make damn sure they they invest the money into people that will keep it for them, which is the situation we're in now. Yeah, well, the emails were pretty damning about bring a bottle. And then having a birthday cake and whatnot. Anyway, 150 prosecuted. That's pretty good. Yeah, it was over 100. Most fines and whatnot. Had the most fines for any one address in the all of the UK. Because they were flagrantly broken. They had dozens and dozens of gatherings and parties. They just ignored the rules they were making and putting on us. We obeyed them. We stayed at home. We only went out when we needed to. We did what we were supposed to do. We respected, the responsibility and got on with it. They didn't. And it was their rules. Has no battle music. It's not feeling very dramatic. It was in the works garden. It was a party. And people caught COVID there. And it wasn't just the once. There were dozens of instances. No, all of the time, there's not a chance in hell they'll get a vote from me this time round. Not with that crowd. They're all awful, awful people. All of them. They haven't got an ounce of respect for regular people. Not a single one. They see regular people as a necessary evil they have to deal with now and again to stay in the cushy number they're in. Yeah, he is a two-faced liar. There was the Queen burying her husband of 70 years on her own. Sat in the church on her own. And the night before, Boris was getting pissed at number 10 with a group of work colleagues. His chums that he gives jobs to. No. There's a line. He crossed it. That's it. Yeah, Brutus. Well, he likes anyone that bigs him up. He likes anyone that kisses his ass. What he doesn't like is critical criticism. Or, he doesn't want anyone questioning what he thinks. I mean, the only good thing he did was get rid of that child catcher from Chitty Chitty Bang Bang. What was his name? Drove all the way to a castle for an eye test because he thought he had COVID or some bullshit. He's a nasty bit of work, he was. Cummins, yeah. Well, don't kid yourself, the rest of them aren't as bad as him. They're just much better at hiding it. Cummings just has utter contempt for everybody. Yeah, well, don't kid yourself that, the guy that hired him didn't know that. I mean, Boris is a lot of things, but he's not stupid. It's like, have you ever seen that Some Kind of Monster about Metallica? And they get a therapist in to help them not split up the band, to deal with their problems, sort their arguments out better, and all that. And he does help them. They say in retrospect, 10 years later, he comes off bad in that movie. But in actual fact, he did his job. He did save them from breaking up, and he did get them communicating and into a better place they'd been in all their lives, in fact, But in Some Kind of Monster, they're sort of sat there going, I think he thinks he's in the band. Like, we're going to go on tour. He's still going to be there on the tour bus. No, we need to get rid of him. It was more like that with Cummins, I think. He thought he was much more important than he really was. He thought he was, he was an MP, and he wasn't. No, it's not stupidity that leads people to that. It's wanting to be powerful, it's wanting to court power. Anyone that wants to be a politician shouldn't be allowed to be. That's it's like the Discworld, isn't it? What does he say there? He goes, "Why do you immediately lock up all your elected politicians?" Well, and he says, "Well, it just saves time." I mean, Boris went to the best schools available anywhere in the world and still got a 2-1 degree in the classics, that's Greek mythology, isn't it? Which, yeah, there's a lot of, principles and moral stuff to be learned from that. There's a lot of knowledge to be gained if applied to other stuff, but really? He was in that Bullingdon club in Eton, wasn't it? One of their favourite pranks was burning £50 notes in front of homeless people. Which sounds hilarious when £50 notes mean nothing to you. Or human life. Or respect. Mean nothing to you. Because poor people aren't the same. They're a subspecies to those guys. They don't really care about them. It's like running over a cat. It's a shame for the cat, but it's only a cat. In fact, there's no law says if you run over a cat that you've got to stop. A dog you do, but not a cat. I think it's something to do with the definition of cats and the fact they're partially feral animals anyway. Something like that. I mean, personally, yeah, I'd stop. I'd say, does anyone know whose cat this is? I need to go and give them some very bad news, or take it to a vet and say, I've flattened this Free spirits. Yeah, they are still somewhat feral. They just tolerate humans, I think. I've said this all along. Dogs have owners, cats have staff. There's a distinction there. I mean, the best sort of inside look at how British politics works for outsiders is to read or watch Yes Minister, and then the second book, or the final book, which was Yes Prime Minister. It's about the best way of getting to understand how British politics work, because it is different. It's official. Carlos is a dog person. I am. I like cats. We used to have 3 cats. But do I prefer dogs? Honestly, yes. It's just me. You know? Everyone likes something. Yeah, and I'm American living in Spain. Had something happen to my parents. It was a 6-month period. Yeah, you couldn't have done anything. You couldn't even gone to a service or whatever. Yeah. I'm only on 65%. Where's the rest of the mission? That's both sides and family. The degrees of bad and evil. Of course there are. Not saying there aren't. I'm just saying I can see which side, you know, where the psychology is on their part. The spaghetti room. It is, yeah. I called it that the first time I saw it. Apparently, it's stuck. I mean, I saw it a very long time ago when we first got him these sort of missions. But I might even have said it when we were doing these when they were statics. Yeah, I'm not being jingoistic. They're no different than anyone else in my eyes. They just grew up in privilege. So their perspective is skewed. That's the difference. Yeah, the people that would run the country the best want nothing to do with running the country. They want someone else to do it. That's what a governorshipment is, or government is. But it's not how they see it. They see themselves as rulers, which is wrong. They're management. Well, you know, the British public, cat derp. I am the apex predator. I was just answering Gmail about all politicians are bad. Bad as individuals? Hard to say without knowing each individual. As a group, generally quite terrible people. Sadly. But yeah, the wrong kind of people get into that. You know, the wrong mindset feel they earn it, feel they're owed it. That somehow it's like you've heard of sudden wealth syndrome. It's like that, but it's always had wealth syndrome. It is a problem. It was like that comedian. He suddenly made millions very suddenly, and the advice he was given was to use offshore accounts to avoid paying tax. And because he was going to a, you know, £1,000 an hour accountant, he went, right, okay, sort that out for me then. I don't think of his name. And he was in all the pay. And what was galled me was the Daily Mail and the like, the Sun and the Times were all printing stories about what a horrible thing to do, what a selfish thing to do, when it's exactly what their owners do. Kettle Black. Jimmy Carr, that was it, yeah. Yeah, great leaders don't choose power, it's thrust on them. Yeah. People that chase after it are generally the people you don't want to you don't want them having it. It's the whole thing. Ever since we invented tools, like a complicated tool like flint or stone axes, we developed a hierarchical system of, you've got the tool maker, so he's busy doing that all day, but not everyone's got time to learn to do that. We still need people to bring in crops, and we still need to do this, and we started putting people in boxes thousands and thousands of years ago. And we ended up with ruling classes who were, we facilitate everything that's going on, realising, hey, this is an easy job, telling everyone else what to do. And we've never really evolved in terms of social structure since that. We're still stuck in it now, right now, from all those tens of thousands of years ago. So it's exactly the wrong kind. I mean, the wages that an MP is paid, like 160k a year or something like that, that's pocket change to these guys. That's what they spend on a boat or a car. It's nothing. It really is nothing to them at all. The thing is, in the UK, no government generally lasts more than 15 years. I think Margaret Thatcher had the longest run, didn't she? And what brought her down? Poll tax. Oh, and what was it? The royal we comment she made after she had a grandchild. We are a grandmother. Using the royal we. There's only one person can use that, and Britain went, wait a minute. And that was it. Yeah, I think it was Jimmy Carr got caught doing that. But that's what galled me about it. That's exactly what the newspaper owners who printed the stories about him were doing then and are doing now and have been doing for decades. The owners of the Daily Mail enjoy a non-dom status for all the money they make in the UK. They pay no tax on. None. And then you've got Murdoch, for God's sake, who owns, the Sun and the Times? I mean, the best thing I saw Jimmy Carr do was 8 out of 10 cats does countdown. For some reason, that really worked well. I thought 8 out of 10 cats does countdown was better than 8 out of 10 cats. And better than countdown. It was just like, I know how countdown works. And so they literally played countdown, but it was with comedians as contestants. They still had, what's her name? I love her to bits. The lady that does the words. I've forgotten her name right now. And it used to be Carol Vorderman did the sums, but there's like a new mathematician that does it now. Oh yeah, he's. I mean, Murdoch is one of the most abhorrent human beings I've ever heard of. I mean, he is truly, truly awful. I think he's quite truly evil as well. You know, does anyone know what price a full set of infantry sims is? Not really, because some of them are dirt cheap and some of them are silly expensive. It just depends. Londies, welcome to the stream. How the devil are you? Juno 6, welcome to the stream. Good to see you. All good. For some reason, we're breaking my own channel's rules and discussing well, we were discussing politicians, now we're discussing politics, and it's probably a bad idea. As long as people don't go off the handle about it, it's fine. But I can remember, 30 years ago, no one gave a shit about politicians and politics, really, in the same way. In the general public just weren't that bothered about it. But now it's being used to divide and conquer. We're so preoccupied with arguing about, well, a load of bloody BS basically, and how we feel about something ethically. We're so busy arguing about that on social media. We're not going, well, who's getting rich? Where's all the money gone? It's the classic divide and conquer. Well, basically UK politics, but some of the players involved are world-class criminal liars. %. Where's the rest of our mobs? I know I died and came back in the mission, but even so, there should be more of them. Now, usually the reason I say no politics in chat is because quite often it ends up in people falling out and stuff, and that's it. Why fall out? Because you have a difference of opinion about something. I mean, there's science and stuff like that, there's no point arguing about unless you're a scientist, but the rest of it, it's how you feel about something, what you think is the morally right or wrong, and it's fine to think differently from someone else. Time to open crates. Well, I've got a roller app, I've got a bonus XP ball. Still feeling like low-ish damage compared to, well, the last tune we made was Power NT, innit? So yeah, everything feels a bit slower. Because instead of every hit going ka-junk on the health bar of whatever you're fighting, it's going a lot slower than that. Well, the discussion's been polarised. And I think it's been polarised deliberately. Not necessarily in some malicious way by social media, but because of the way the algorithms work, is you gain the most clicks and the most interaction, engagement, by polarising an argument. Whereas if you take a complicated issue and do come stand on the line about it, you'll find most people pretty much agree about most things. But where they don't is where they believe or don't believe how certain things are presented. If they're presented in the right way, people will take a certain view. And once they establish that view, it's very hard to switch it up to anything else. And that's where your polarization comes from. You can create one, let's say, Google account and keep feeding it. You know, every time you look at a particular issue, go, click on more links that say, oh, well, the problem is, the poor people and blah, 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 blah. And then do lots of searches for, your next new Rolls Royce or whatever, and then create another account with the complete polar opposite opinion, and then do the same search for something innocuous on that platform, like you on YouTube, on Twitter, on Facebook, or just generally on Google when you're looking for the answer to something, and you'll suddenly get two completely different answers based on the search history of both of those accounts. You'll get a different representation of facts, to the point of one, they contradict each other. Because that's how the algorithm works. The algorithm isn't sensible, it's not actually intelligent. It's clever, but yeah. Some heroes wear hard hats. Indiana construction worker Jason Haney had a giant Where's Waldo cutout all over his work site for the children of a nearby hospital to find. Once he received word they found him, he moved Waldo to a new location so they could start looking for him again. Cool. What a guy. See, a good guy like that wouldn't have any interest in becoming a politician. Why? Because he wouldn't. And you know what? That's a shame, because if he was asked to make critical decisions for everybody else, he would act in everyone else's interest. Yeah, he's doing a little thing for maximum effect. Yeah, the problem is that people go, everyone's got a right to an opinion. Correct. But not everybody's opinion carries as much value. This is also a fact. So someone that knows nothing about a subject, their opinion on it is less valuable than someone that spent 20, 30, 40 years in that field as a professional. Now, Joe, who's never picked up a screwdriver, telling Fred, the mechanic of 50 years, who's been to college, fixed thousands of vehicles and done repairs and servicing, says, no, it's not this thing that's at fault. It's going to be such and such. And I'm sorry, but, guy who's been 50 years a mechanic, I'm going to go with him. His opinion, inverted commas, is more valuable. No, I can sort my brakes out and do the timing. Have you ever done it before? No. Do you understand the mechanical principles and how to test that you've got it right? No. I'm going to let the garage do it. This is why, yes, everyone's entitled to opinion. No, not everyone's opinion is as valid as everyone else's. Some opinions count for more. Oh, the right to repair is a different thing entirely. That's monopolies, or would-be monopolies like Apple and quite a few other companies as well, that want all of the cake. They want it all. And if it breaks, buy a new one from us. That's our business model. So what they were essentially saying is, even when you pay us for something, you don't truly own it. That's the crux of the problem with that. Now I have to remember where the spaghetti room was. Trust me, I'm a mechanic, yeah. I mean, the last time I did the brake fluid on a vehicle myself, I did it with a guy who had a degree in engineering and was an incredibly talented mechanic to boot. Like, he did a complete chassis conversion on his Hilux Surf into a twin-axle 4x4 V8 monster. He did the whole thing himself, and it was an absolute beast. It passed every test Vosa could throw at it, and his welding was sublimely good. I wish I had some pictures to show you, actually. But that's it, you see. He's the guy that's put the time in and studied and learned all about it and gone off and got a degree in engineering. So, yeah, he understands exactly what he's doing and he's got the tools to double-check his work. I mean, he fixed all the alignment up, which is basic geometry, to be honest. But he did it all with laser pointers and, and very accurate measurements. It's easier to get it done at a garage, which, has a machine all set up to do it all day long. But he still did it, and it still, was perfectly fine. This doesn't go anywhere, does it? This is a little box. Yep. Yeah, people like Apple who build in obsolescence into a product and then want you to buy the new version of it instead of getting it repaired and say, well, we're not going to repair it. You'll have to buy the new one. Is bullshit. I mean, the person you want to see watch about that is what's his name, Lewis Rothman, I think, who's been repairing the deliberate faults that Apple build into their products in China, and then refuse to fix and tell you to buy the new one. He was fixing them for years, and then they wanted to sue him for fixing their products. So he started, he picked up the mantle there. He picked up the bloody rod and said, hang on a minute, and started making more noise about it. Well, Tesla is one private company. And, yes, the emissions and everything on it are amazing, but the cost of making the damn thing and disposing of it when it's reached the end of its life cycle are not very ecological at all. I hate to tell you this, but it's true. It really, really not. Have you ever seen a Tesla on fire? Whoa. That's some scary stuff. Who's at fault? Apple are at fault. I mean, I would never buy an Apple product. Not a single one. On principle. I just wouldn't buy one. Yeah, lithium fires are no joke, yeah. Come on, where the hell? No, he's not anywhere near that stairway room. Not in there. I hate when the mini-map doesn't update the entire floor. This is a small room at the side. Yeah, the chemicals in them, I mean, as a vehicle up and running, yeah, it's great. The cost to the environment of making one and the components in it, definitely not. It kind of gets to the point where if you do the math, like an old energy efficient vehicle that's 10 years old is a better ecological bet than a brand new Tesla is, because the cost of making it versus the cost of making a new one on the environment is more than continuing to run the one that already exists. It's one of those weird scenarios where it's not the answer you thought it was. Aha, there we go. A friend of mine got one of those BMWs and tried to remove the wires. The computer turned off the seat warmer, put it back on the switch. Oh, yeah, of course they can be hacked, yeah. BMW have just seen loot boxes and gone, that's an amazing idea. And NFTs and crypto coin and gone, money for nothing. Oh, we've got to get in on this. I know, let's rent the features the car has built in to the customer after they've bought the car. Oh, jolly Jay, what a laugh. Electric works, yeah. What we need is a means to generate electric as cleanly as possible. And until we get rid of coal-fired power stations, or whatever, then, we've got a real problem. because the amount of pollution created by, conventionally fueled power stations that the electricity from is then charging these electric cars up. Until the offset balances, it's no better. It's no better overall on the environment. Yes, the car outputs nothing, but the electric that charged it up, its generation cost the environment dearly. So there's got to be, a way to do it. The only plausible way with current technology, without further development, is nuclear, and nobody wants nuclear everywhere. Storing and transmitting. Yeah, it is. Of course it is. That's why was it solar freaking roadways was the emperor's new clothes. Tesla does the same. The only difference between an S60, S80, S90 is a software package. Yeah. That's called profiteering. I think I just got a text on my new phone, which is like mid-range. No, it was an email. Yeah, spam. You know what 70% of the internet is? It doesn't begin with P. You can pay Tesla a few grand for them to patch an extra 100 miles into your basic model. How ridiculous is that? Isn't technology wonderful until people are using it against you for profit? Does that mean we abandon technology? No, of course not. But still. It is, it's greed. I mean, the whole thing that Elon Musk is some benevolent, I don't know, guru of technology is probably his greatest invention. Because he's not. He's not poor guy done. He's not, Joe Average done good. Far from it. His millionaire South African family would disagree. Keeps that quiet, doesn't he? Yeah, he's created an image of himself that's not really him at all, but it's good for his company. I mean, here's a perfect example. You had Intel, who for 10 years stayed on the same nanometer silicon because there was little pressure for them to improve, and kept giving us 4-core, 8-thread processors for 10 years. And all they did was slightly increase the IPC and greatly increase the price every generation. That's all they did, because they had no one to compete with. So when you're at the top, well, you take advantage, because where else are they going to go, right? That's the way they think. And then AMD turns around and goes, by the way, Ryzen, there you go, 6 cores, 12 threads, 7 nanometer, super efficient, blows anything Intel's making out of the water in that price range. And suddenly, Intel's got 8 cores as entry level, and suddenly they pull their finger out, I feel like my work is done here tonight. I'm off to bed. Good night, Gamel. Have the pleasant rest of your evening. It's already been pretty nice by the sound of it, with pork and a couple of pints of Abbott's. Well, they're still ahead on certain things, but not all things. The GPU, yeah, the drivers are a complete car... They're a car wreck. I mean, I was watching Gamers Nexus explaining the problems they had with the drivers. Oh boy. Oh my god, how did that get released? I mean, the drivers are just a complete shambles. Their own drivers make the product worse, you know. Yeah, the driver thing has just not gone through the regular team of people. I mean, they are a massive, massive company. Their R&D is massive. How they managed to fluff that up. I did try out an Intel video card myself, and I was noping out of that after one day. Oh god, yeah. I was like prepared to sort of be, well, it's a new thing for them, and you know, we're going to cut them some slack. Even with the aforesaid slack being cut, it's terrible. And it's not like they've never done it before, like they're making out. I mean, they've had iGPUs for years that were reasonable. You know, for a bundled in with on-die graphics processor on your CPU, they were okay. You know, okay, they're not going to play high-end games particularly well, but, you know, they were all right. So when they said, oh, we're going to make, you know, an actual one, you were like, oh, well, you know, we'll cut you some slack. But yeah, no, it's terrible. Xerox is still using OCR drivers, which can be switched up 8 and 0 over 30 years now. Xerox still going. God. Hire a bunch of interns. I would have thought they'd have done this, you know, with the rest of the big stuff they do. You know, all the I don't know, backbone stuff they normally do. You know, as in servers and all that. All the Intel software support for that's got to be absolutely bulletproof, or it's useless. It's either perfect or it's no good. There's no in between on that kind of stuff, and yet they've been doing that for years. So if they'd run the driver, you know, software through that team, I'm sure it would have been okay. Well, that's kind of the problem with capitalism as a whole, is we've got a finite planet with finite resources, and capitalism relies on growth. You can't have infinite growth, because there is no infinite resource. So this is why, you know, you're seeing the problems you've got now. It's running out of stuff to gobble. There's nothing left for the monster to eat, you know? You know, if an economist says different, take his word for it. His opinion is more valid than mine because he's an economist. But it was an economist that was telling me this 20 odd years ago. A professor of economics, in fact. Big fan of Linux as well, or Linux, however you want to pronounce it. Used to go around with a little penguin badge. He's like one of those cool professors, you know. No, it was him that sort of told me about stuff like that. I remember Mrs. Callister doing her dissertation for a degree on companies like Nestle and people like that, how they operate and the problems with it. You know, and I used to maybe not even understand all of it, but I used to proofread her dissertation for her. Because, you know, a spell checker doesn't know if it can tell you all your words are right, it can tell you if grammatically a sentence is correct, but it doesn't tell you if the sentence makes any sense. So yeah. But yeah, that that whole thing of, you know, $80 a month to switch the heated seats that you've already paid for on is it's just the biggest piss take I've ever heard. And the same, like Mihalik was saying with the Tesla thing. You know, this is how Apple works. It's like a cult. You know, it's an ecosystem. No, it's a product line. It's not an ecosystem. Everything works together. Well, it should do. You make it all. You've made it to work together. Of course it does. It's like the cost of, what was the Mac? And it was like $1,000 for the stand or the feet or something like that. And then the monitor arm was $1,000 or something ridiculous. And it wasn't even as good as like a $200 monitor arm that moved in twice as many ways, 3 times as far in any direction, and would have fit. You know, the little stainless steel wheels on it, you know, which were no better than something off a shopping trolley mechanically, but cost $1,000 to put your computer on wheels. And people bought them. People bought them. Someone did a good meme about that, actually. You know, I think he's a Mexican gentleman with missing a few teeth, and he's telling some story. I mean, no, he might not be Mexican, he might be Spanish. Like Espanol. And he's telling some tale. I think it's something to do with leaving something out when the tide comes in or something. That's about all I can make out from what he's actually saying. And I'm terrible at Spanish. I guess at words based on the fact that there's some similarities between English and Spanish and French. But they do like the subtitle thing. And someone did one about, you know, the Apple launch and these, you know, wheels and the stand and all that. So a quick look. No, I do not want to buy your mobile game. I do not want to buy any mobile games, YouTube. Yeah, that's him. You've all probably seen him with, you know, all these. He barely speaks understandable for Spanish speakers. It's something. Yeah, I think this is the real. Is it? No, this is the. Yeah, that's the one I'm talking about. But he's been used like he's become a meme in his own right, hasn't he? He's known. But yeah, someone did a brilliant. That was probably the one then. Yeah, I laughed really hard at that because I thought, yeah, this is what they must be thinking, and they bought them. You know, the worst proposition you've ever heard in your life, and they went for it. No wonder they're laughing. No wonder they come up with this stuff because they think you're incredibly stupid to buy the things they make. Yeah, apparently the real story he's telling is something to do with him working in some sort of beachside restaurant cafe place and then telling him to go dry the laundry. So he puts the laundry out on like a line, but it's on the beach and the tide comes in and all the washing, all the linen and everything's, you know, soaking wet in seawater. It's ruined. I mean, I suppose I don't speak Spanish well enough to understand it fluently enough to laugh at it, but I can see that the person he's talking to directly thinks it's hilarious because he's doing his absolute best not to laugh at him, you know, at the tale he's telling, and yet, you know, just can't stop laughing at him. But it's like the one from the movie about Hitler has been used a lot as well. as a meme. You know, it's the same clip of Hitler finding out none of the allies he was hoping for are going to help him, and it looks like it's all over now. It's like his final hour. It's not gone well. It's a powerful film, very dark, obviously based on, the theme and everything else, and yet it's hilarious when it's used like that. Yeah, is it public domain? I don't want to put it on the stream and get slammed. So is this with the original video within it? So this is it, but how many days will you work it? Yeah, I've seen this as well, yeah. So the story is something about like a mishap, and not even a massively funny one, but the way he tells it is very funny, apparently. Yeah, have we all seen the one from the Adolf Hitler movie? Where Hitler has a complete meltdown in the war room, sends half the people out of the room, and then takes his glasses off, and the rage, he's not a happy bunny. And that's been reused I don't know how many times. It'll come up on my watch history. I can go back and rewatch it. I think I may have seen that. I kind of gleaned as much as I can by not reading the subtitles and kind of thinking I know what he's talking about, but most of it's guesswork. Like last stream I was talking about the kind of, I don't want to call it a hack, but a kind of a trick for English people to try and understand traditional French words. It won't work on modern French words, but it does work for old words like mother, milk, water, hospital, hotel, things like that. Where if the word starts with an E, replace it with an S. If there's a vowel with a little hat above it, put an S in front of it. And if there's a GW, replace it with a GU, replace it with a W. I think hotel comes about because we borrowed more than once from the French language. English is something like 29% made up of Norman French. So when William the Conqueror, blah blah blah. 24% Germanic and German. Something 12% Latin. And then a mixture of Norse and whatnot. Just a lot of that comes down to, ancient history and more recent history. Like the whole Doggerland thing. Unfortunate name, but it got its name because it was discovered by searching for oil in the Dogger Trench and realising they were looking at Iron Age settlements down there. Or the remains of Iron Age settlements down there. How could they be there? And then they kind of worked it backwards and figured it out. It was near the end of the Ice Age and a lot of the water was landlocked. The top of North America, kind of Canada, near the Arctic Circle and stuff. A lot of the seawater was still locked behind that, and then the glaciers that were holding it back gave way, and suddenly, over the course of 50 years or less, the sea levels rose 200 meters or 100 meters or something ridiculous. And that huge patch of land which connected Britain, Europe and most of Norway and Denmark all together just vanished under the sea. Damn, I need more water. We call it North Sea today. Yeah. Well, I think it's been called the North Sea for a long time, because it was the sea to the north. Like I say, there is actually only one body of water on the Earth. Seawater. Because they're all connected. There is only one ocean, there's just many seas. Something weird like that. Because they all, one flows into the other, so, you know. I guessed you meant North Sea. Or if you call it the North Sea, where you're from then. That's where we got north from, probably. Yeah, English used to have gendered pronouns, you know, like in French you've got le apple, it's female, but in Spanish it's la, or it's el apple, which is male, which is obviously confusing. But yeah, English used to have that. It got replaced with just calling everything neutral, or virtually everything neuter, which became the during the Great Vowel Shift, amongst other things. So yeah, weird. Yeah, I mean the Netherlands and all of that are mountain peaks from that time. You know, if you had been around 10,000 years ago, those were mountain peaks. So they'd keep retreating backward from, you know, the flat arable land until, you know, you're on top of a mountain and that's your country. There was a plan to build a seawall, like curving out, you know, in front of the rocks of Gibraltar and draining the Mediterranean, which, you know, is a ridiculous idea, but it was put forward. In that it would free up tons of arable land for everybody, and everything else. But the big problem with it, the governments thought, not the ecological havoc it would wreak. You know, what do the fishermen do now? And what about the wildlife? And are you sure it's still going to be arable if you drain all the seawater? You know, without even those considerations, the thing that they got stuck on was, well, what if the wall breaks? There was another one to reclaim Doggerland as well, by building a huge sea wall, 200 metres high, that kind of went from part of Norway to the Faroe Isles, down to Scotland, off somewhere in Cornwall, down to, you know, northern France somewhere. And that was a serious idea as well. They were seriously thinking of doing it to reclaim that land. Yeah, Nord Sea. Yeah, you can see how similar the word is. It's only when they started writing it down, they wrote down how it was pronounced or what the accent was, and you got different words. I like the way instead of inventing a new complicated word, Germans stick it all together. But you can see it in music as well. So you've got a quaver, a semi-quaver, a semi-demi-quaver, a hemi-demi-semi-quaver. That's quite a Germanic thing to do. I think the shortest note is a 120th of a second. So 120 of those notes would play in 1 second. In a 120 something BPM. And the reason there's none any more than that is any if the notes are any shorter than that close together, they become a single note to the human ear. At that point, they become a very bass drone note we can hear, which is why they don't bother going anymore. Yeah, if there was a sudden drop in sea level rise and Doggerland surfaced again, it would be like Terry Pratchett's Jingo. People would be going to war over it, over who owned it. Who was going to build and plant crops on it and all sorts. Oh my god. Rind, Phi, Shy, I'm not even going to try. I'm going to put that into Google. I'm going to make Google tell me how to say it. Right, translate. You tell me how it gets it. Right. German, and how should it sound?
Prime Gaming Sana, Rindfleischetikettierungsaufgabenübertragungs.
Prime Minister Gaming Sana Beef Labeling Task Transfer. And that's all one word. Let's hear it again, everyone.
Prime Gaming Sana, Rindfleischetikettierungsaufgabenübertragungs.
Hang on, I've copied your name in. God. Right, try that again.
Rindfleischetikettierungsaufgabenübertragungs.
Beef Labeling Task Transfer. What was the other one?
Überwachungsgesetz.
Überwachungsgesetz. Surveillance Act. They're awesome. German words are just like... What's the meme where you've got the one dog that's like, you know, massive Chad dog, and then the other dog's like with the same head, basically. Beef Labeling Task for Transfer and Surveillance Act, yeah. I love the way they do that. Oh, we found him. What percentage are we at, though? It can't be. 63. Try and sneak around him. Success. Yeah, I love the way Germans do that. Like I watch DeBauer for his PC and tech videos. He's really, you know, he's a very charismatic guy. He's very charming, you know, very knowledgeable. Big into sort of de-lidding and experimenting and doing stuff like that. And half his videos are German, half are English. And then he started a separate channel because of the way the algorithm works. If you watch just like me, I'll just pick the English version of his thing, but then it'll keep recommending me all these videos he's done speaking German, and I'm like, let's translate. And then you're probably not going to get a good translation with auto translate. Sometimes, like, the only version he's got is a German one. I'll just put subtitles on and watch it anyway. But then he comes out with a word and I go, what? It sounds like he's just he's strung a load of words together, and the truth is he has. This is how German works. It's logical to call handshoe and not mitten or glove. Yeah. Handshoe. Yes. It's an efficient language. We do not need to invent new words. We will just put plenty of old words together. Ah, I snagged him. He's not calmable, is he? Can I maybe snare him? Damn. Have to try and reset him. I mean, I can't talk. I'm Welsh. We've got bizarre words for everything. And despite what you've seen on the internet and wherever, we do not call microwaves pop-de-ping. I almost wish we did because it sounds lovely, but it's not true. Jump into the blue light. Has he stopped aggroing? No, I'm still in aggro. How far will he follow me? Oh, like, same as dungeons? Yeah. It's getting on him that's a pain. This old trick. Yeah, I know. I was doing this. I was doing this a long time ago. If you watch my old videos, you'll probably find me doing it in at least 2 or 3 of them. All the hacksaw. Yeah, the nerf to... Because we used to fight mobs that were too hard like that. Used to stuck, inverted commas, the mob, and then beat it over the head till it was done and it couldn't fight you back. But it would stay aggroed on you. And Funcom became aware that players were using this tactic. And so they made it, if you stuck a mob, inverted commas, it would drop aggro and reset and heal. And then other places they couldn't get it to do that. Were like outside Omni HQ, there was like a little collection of mobs around like a couple of huts. People used to stand on the top of the hut and just kaboom, kaboom, kaboom. They nerfed stuck in mobs like that. So then people figured out they couldn't get past the spikes, but it didn't trigger the reset. So people did that for years, until someone was doing it on the 2019 server, which they were monitoring, and then they just removed the bloody spikes. Like, right, do it now, and you can't. I went out there on it was on this server, because obviously the patch was on both servers. I went out there on the NT in his early days to try and, kite and get some XP, knowing that the spikes are gone, and everyone on the stream like, no, they removed the fence is gone. You have to actually kite them and run now, which is valid because it takes skill and concentration. So they're okay with it, If your pet is attacking but the mobs can't get to you, they reset as well. Yeah. That was a nerf on what they call stucking a pet. But it played on. Someone came on the server on the Discord server last week going, oh my god, they removed Pet Hunt. And I'm like, they removed Pet Hunt in like 2012. It's like it's been gone for 10 years. Obviously they hadn't been in the game since then, so it was like a shock. It was like, oh my god, the game's pretty different these days. Since 18.7, which was 7 years ago? My god. Yeah, 7 years ago. Demolishing the turret. call it gonna call the stream done after this mission. Getting on now. It's like 10 o'clock. I think my lad's just crept into his room. And I gotta get up early and take him to the train station in the morning. What percent are we at? 85. Oh, we haven't got too far to go then. The thing is, after they did mobs getting stuck and all the rest of it and resetting, it made doing places like Arid Rift less painful. It was kind of good in a way. Are you doing stuck to get past the bloody gates? You're a naughty boy. No, we're done in here. Oh, to get inside before they were actually opened. Ah, very naughty boy. Excuse me. Oh, come on. First day I won. Got to the aliens. We did this room. This is just the big 2-level cave room. Done there. As soon as we dinged, an arc appeared. You've been a very naughty boy. I can remember having... I forget their character name. She was a doc and she was one of the first people to hit 201. And we were doing an eel raid and like there was a few pugs there, you know, a few pickups, and they were like, 201? You're 201. You must be an awesome dog. And they were like, it's not that different. That's the entrance. I keep finding myself running back to the entrance while trying to run around the map, but I can't seem to get anywhere. There wasn't a door in here. There's never a door in this room that leads out again. There's no connectivity for it anywhere. Are we going to be boring and just keep going lefts and things like that? Aha! And it worked. The only way to get to the mystery room is to run through a bunch of other rooms. I'm just getting these ones off the map, so I know I've been in them. I did hop around you, did those 2 rooms, and you snagged me on the way out. These are one of the most aggressive mobs in the game. This type. Like I don't know what they're called, are they? Anun or something like that, when they're on Rubicar. And on Rubicar as well, even when they're grey, they'll attack. I remember getting into Inferno for the very first time. That was with Kingston, was like, wanted to get to higher and higher playfields to get better and better XP and, you know. But getting into Pand, GM turned up as soon as we entered. Congratulations! I think it actually featured in a couple of MMO sites that probably don't exist anymore. first players make it to the final playfield in Anarchy Online's expansion. You know when Anarchy Online used to be in the news? Do you remember that? Way back when? Where you could search for things in-game on Google without prefixing the search with Anarchy Online first in order to get a hit. Is it getting a bit late for the chat? They're all getting a bit tired. Not to worry. %. I need another mob. All the specials. How much Dimash did I need for this? Oh, your martial arts 2451. Do I not have 2451 drained? 2412. Oh well. Martial arts mastery buff is missing. That'll be why. Couple of points off. I think it's that and Dimash, wasn't it? Dimash has got to be 1601. We have another 1,000 to go. Oh well. We'll get there. Next level. There's only one left. 100%. Now we kill the more death. .4242 crit. .3921. Yeah, I think it is. It's using MA Fist as an attack as well as the sticks or something, but like someone else said, it's maybe the legs. MA is so weird in AO. Because in the beginning, MAs didn't kick at all. There was no animation for them kicking, which didn't really make them feel like a martial artist. A martial artist that uses no kicking is kind of a boxer. But yeah, I remember that coming in. And there was a friend of mine who was like predominantly like MA, Ilani or something, in one of the first orgs I joined, 3305 local, and they posted screenshots of their character with the leg up doing a kick and going, I'm an MA and I can kick, and they were so chuffed that finally they had a kick animation. It does seem chaotic. Yeah, it's really weird. It doesn't feel like it does when you play an MA. Not at all. It's really like, wait, what? It's been an interesting experiment doing MA on Trader. I think I could do a much stronger tune, shotgun. But it'd be too sameish, maybe, compared to my other MA, so I don't know. Oh, I got it, yeah. There you go. Business card, decision by committee. Did it last stream. On the stream, and completely randomly, I had a parcel of foodstuffs from doing a mission a few days before on stream, and I hadn't opened it. I opened it and I got a cease and desist. So then got buffed up, got ready, went to Borealis, flattened everything, and then got it. But you can't use it until your level is required to be at least 220. Yeah, it's got a level lock on it. And we're 219 currently, so... Yeah, it only lasts for... What is it? When it uploads? I'm not sure. Someone said that, they spawn for a minute and then you can't use it again for 4 minutes or something like that. Or longer. It's like a... Not something you use often. Even if they're on cooldown a lot, they save my butt more than once. Yeah, I can imagine, yeah. Confuse all the mobs. Bum, bum, bum. Yeah. Is there a website where I can look up people's characters? Are you trying to look up one of your own old characters? Because if you can remember your account login, you can see the characters on that account on the official site. If you want to look up characters currently in game or playing, you can do it with Anu, but it's out of date. And then there's People of Rubicar, which isn't that accurate, but it does still work. I'll show you. So here's People of Rubicar. So if I type in Kalos 2 and search, you'll see for some reason it thinks I'm AI 31 on that character. Spoiler, he's not AI 31. Yeah, if you log into your actual account, give me a second. So if you go to the main site, anarchyonline.com, okay, there you go. So there you are, anarchyonline.com, blah, 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 and you can go list characters. There's all my characters. Some are on 2019, all the rest. All right, and that's on that account, not including my Froob account, or accounts, plural. It will tell you all the characters on it. It did take them 22 years to... It kind of did. Pagan Nova, welcome to the stream. We're just finishing now, I'm afraid. I'm just going to see if anybody else that we know is streaming Anarchy Online or anything. Coin is here. me, and then the, what's it on? 3 other. Anarchy Arcade is not the same. Someone called Only Hams. That image looks nothing like Anarchy Online, so I don't know about that one. Anyway, we know Cohen is here. So we'll go raid Cohen is here. Guys who made various raid bots at one point have made a system that allowed you to check a character's current equipment, perks, stats, buffs, but the PvP apparently got mad about it, so it wasn't made available to players in the end. Yeah, you can kind of see why that might be a problem, but yeah. Right, okay, we're going to go raid Cohen. So thank you all for coming along on the stream this evening. Interesting chat tonight. But yeah, Temple of the Three Winds action. Looks like Lobie Temple of the Three Winds, looking at the gear. Yeah, because he's got the deck there. Anyway, thank you all for coming along, and I will see you again on Friday, I think. Okay, folks, thanks again, and bye for now.